Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633, and today I'm going to give you a review of the deluxe, well, deluxe per se, since this isn't the Japanese version, but anyways, the deluxe Gosei Great Megazord from Power Rangers Megaforce. And the name is kind of weird because they just decided to just use the same name as the Japanese version, just slap Megazord on it, which is very, in a sense, very lazy on their part. Well, anyways, sorry for the long delay. I've just had a lot of technical problems and just been kind of busy lately. But I'll try to bring you more reviews a lot more frequently now. Anyways, the Gosei Great Megazord is, well, yet another remold. Well, not remold per se, but just a new version of the Japanese mecha. Ever since MMPR 2K10, they've been using like smaller versions of the actual mecha and decided to make smaller versions. This one actually looks the best out of the three, personally, because it looks pretty close to its Japanese counterpart. I no longer have the Japanese counterpart, so can't exactly compare them, but I can show you at least this. I will try to get the header set later, but right now it's getting a hard time to find them, so I'm in no hurry, so I'll get them when I can. Anyways, the few differences that are actually on this version are, one I'll show you later from the transformation is the sword actually was a two-piece sword that actually was able to hang on to, I mean, the shark sword here was able to hold on to, and other major differences, obviously a lot of paint job missing, and this part here, this neck piece, was actually a separate piece that you remove. So you can see here, yeah, it kind of fell apart one moment. That. Okay, anyways, as you can see here, the heads do still come off as normal, but this piece was actually a separate piece that would attach to the end bottom part of the sword, which now they decided to put a very interesting gimmick by actually keeping within the body. So I guess that's one last piece to lose. Also another difference is that they decided to change this into its own header. What originally happened is that when there was a way that you can flip this piece here, and then the head would actually stay inside the body, but they decided to make it a header instead this time, which is actually quite interesting. Another major change they put on the figure is that they actually articulated the wings. I'll show you here. This is a very interesting feature. It wasn't really necessary because it's not that accurate to the show, but other than that, it's actually interesting that they decided to add that gimmick. Another problem with this is that the parts seem to be kind of loose-fitting. So you can see it's like the Japanese version, it kind of just wiggles around, which is unfortunate, but what can you really do? The Zord Building System is pretty much like that. Well, anyways, to transform this, oh yeah, I'm also going to quickly show you a quick look at the sword. As you can see, the Japanese version had a lot of gold paint, which is missing on this version, and it opens up, which is a new way that they decided to do. Anyways, to transform these guys into its individual modes. Ah, shoot. Sorry about that. I forgot to go over the articulation points. It's not much articulation that you can pretty much guess on a deluxe mecha, Japanese or otherwise. His hands can turn, this technically is an articulation point, I guess you could say, but that's really more for transformation. His head is not articulated, though you can kind of cheat it, in a sense. It doesn't really work that well, so it's not really there. And the legs can kind of pivot left and right, and because of there's a cheated joint here because of the way the Zord Building System set up, it's kind of a cheated waist joint. Doesn't really go anywhere, and it's loose fitting once again, so it's not really all that great. Anyways, which I'm trying to show earlier, to transform, you take up the head here. You will now open the sword like this, and you just plug this head piece into the sword and just close it. For now, that's it. Next, we'll just take apart the components. Which I'm going to show here. You just unplug everything. Hope this will get good on camera. Now, it's similar to the Japanese version, in which you could just remove the parts like so. Let's see, I'm going to quickly change the camera's angle to help you see better. Okay, there. anyways, now we just the interesting part about the Phoenix is that unlike the Japanese version, which it just kind of sat only about this far for the wings, now they actually give you the ability to fold it all the way out, which is actually a good touch. Then you transform these just mostly like the Japanese one. The only major change technically is the dragon, but I'll tell you other changes in a minute. Oh yeah, so if you didn't see earlier, you just kind of pull on the piece here, and then there's this hole that this end just plugs into. And then that's pretty much for the dragon. So it's pretty close to its Japanese counterpart, but there have been some problems with paint changes, and these feel kind of cheaper just because the plastic seems a lot lighter and something about it's weird. They also removed an articulation point, which was right here on the Japanese version, which will allow you to bend it, so this train would kind of bend more. Instead, they just put a Zord Building System there, which you could put any leg from previous mecha from MMPR and on. The 2K10 version, I should say. So, that's it for the individual modes. Okay, so the next step, obviously because the gimmick this year is headers, you can remove the headers like the Japanese version, which is good that they kept this in there. It's kind of an important piece, so obviously to keep it within it. So let's just take off all the headers, put them to the side. So yeah, as you can see, the headers do come up. Some changes, however, the Japanese version of the dragon, the snake. Actually, no, all of them actually had opening mouth gimmicks. Instead, they just molded it together so that now it's just one piece. Unfortunately, you can no longer open heads. Cool part is that they did keep at least the horn articulated, which is interesting. Other than that, there's not any major else different about this Zord. So that's the fact, I guess, if you wanted to. It looks weird now. This will be used for another combination. I guess you could just plug in any header and all that, just like the Japanese version. So, I'll put these back now to make it better off there. So this is pretty close to its Japanese releases. There are some missing paint pieces from here to there. But other than that, this is pretty faithful to its Japanese release, which is a very interesting thing, actually, and I'm actually proud of what Bandai of America has done for this year. Once again, I'll try and find the other headers, and I guess I'll review them as well. But for now, this is Darkon 63, and this is review of the DX Gosei Great Megazord in America, anyways. Check out Toyline News, the podcast. Also check out Wheelchair 21, Gundam Legacy Extreme, Sound.12, and all the other channels I'm going to put at the bottom of the video there. And, yeah, also check out Hero Otaku. Interesting place that you'll go on with your tokusatsu needs. Well, anyways, this is Darkon 633, and see you later. Bye.